Hey everyone, my name is Rishabh, and in this video, I'm going to walk you guys over the entire hiring process of TCS NQT. So, इस बार चीज़ें काफ़ी फास्ट मूव कर रही हैं, जैसा TCS जनरली इतना फास्ट रिस्पॉन्ड करता नहीं है लोगों को. एंड आई हैव सीन लोगों को अभी भी एडमिट कार्ड्स रोल आउट हो रहे हैं. सम ऑफ माई फ्रेंड्स हैव देयर एग्जाम्स ऑन 9th April and 10th April. So for that, I just wanted to share my experience. सो द फर्स्ट थिंग्स फर्स्ट, मेरा एग्ज़ाम 20th मार्च को था. एंड विद इन अ वीक मुझे एक मेल आता है सेइंग दैट आई हैव बीन शॉर्ट लिस्टेड फॉर द डिजिटल प्रोफाइल. आई वॉज वेरी हैप्पी. 2 days later my interview was scheduled. Now before scheduling the interview they ask for your preferred location. I filled Indore in my case since my university is there. And TCS Indore office is really nice. I visited there. Now, cut to the day of interview. I have the questions. I will share it with you guys. So this is my entire experience, guys. If you have not heard about the NQT, it's a computer-based test which you have to qualify in order to get an interview. The test consists of many sections, including your verbal, quantitative aptitude, reasoning, and there are some advanced reasoning questions as well. Then there are two DSA questions. First is an easy level, and second is medium level question. Now, for the aptitude part, you can see a lot of websites offer the previous year questions. If you give it 2 to 3 days, you will be okay because the questions are not hard. You just have to be familiar with the patterns. In case of coding questions, please try to solve it on your own before you go attempt it in the NQT, because TCS compilers are very fragile in a way. It's so hard to work with them. If you have practice in lead code, you will struggle with the TCS compiler. So I suggest you write your code down in a notepad or try with whatever IDE you prefer. But do practice taking inputs first. I work with Java, and Java folks struggle the most with when it comes to the TCS compiler. Now, in each section, you will have to solve a number of questions. Now, it depends on performance of other people as well. In my case, I was able to solve 5 6 questions in each section with confidence, and there is no negative marking, so you can guess as well. But please be concise. Please be sure on what you're doing. When it comes to coding, there are 7 test cases in total. 2 are public and 5 are private test cases. Your role depends on how you perform in these coding questions, because mostly these are the deciding factors. You get a score based on your private test cases. Now I was able to solve the first question entirely, and in second question I was able to solve only 2 private test cases. I still got selected for TCS Digital profile. Now, before the interview, they ask you for a preferred location. I selected Indore. My interview was on 30th March. It was in TCS office itself. On the day of interview, I went there. First, they check your documents and make sure you don't have any active backlogs, and your 10, 12th marks and your UG marks are more than 60%. That's the only requirement here. Yeah, after that, they take your attendance and then batch you into a panel. After being in a panel, you have to wait. They call you by name, or sometimes it's random. In my case, it was random. I got my interview after waiting for like an hour or so. Now my interview lasted something 25 to 30 minutes. It started with a basic introduction. Now, please make sure you write only those things in your resume which you are completely sure of, because TCS interviews are very much resume heavy. इट ऑलवेज स्टार्ट्स विद द इंट्रोडक्शन. आपके ऊपर है कि आप अपना इंट्रोडक्शन कितने अच्छे से कितना थोरली पढ़ के जाते हो आप. योर इंट्रोडक्शन सेट्स द पेस फॉर द इंटायर इंटरव्यू इन अ वे. तो मेक श्योर कि अपना इंट्रोडक्शन आप प्रैक्टिस करें अपने फ्रेंड्स के साथ, अपने मेंटर्स के साथ, हुएवर यू नो. Now after that they will start cross questioning. Maybe they will cross question you on the project you mentioned or something like that. In my case, they straight up gave me a code to write. Now they gave me to write Fibonacci code, to code a Fibonacci series. It's a very basic question, everybody knows the logic that a plus b, and then you have to swipe a and b. Now I made a mistake here because I forgot to print the result. I'm not really used to coding on pen and paper, so, and I was also a little nervous. It was at the start of the interview. Logic was fine, and at the end I just forgot to write that line like system.out.print. Interviewer was okay with it. They said, yeah, understandable, it happens. The logic was fine, so they moved forward. They just asked me to explain my approach, and I was able to do so. After that, another question was, yeah, they asked about my internship. Now, if you have mentioned any internship in your resume, please come up with scenarios that make you look good. Basically, they would want to know कि आप डे टू डे क्या करते थे, आपने क्या सीखा, क्या टेक्निकल काम था, वट एवर रोल यू हैड इन योर प्रोजेक्ट। जैसे कि आप फ्रंट एंड इंटर्न हो सकते हो, तो आपने उसमें क्या करा, बी वेरी थॉरो विथ इट, ओके। After that, another question was, yeah, now the major project that I mentioned in my resume was a full stack billing software built with Spring Boot, Postgres, and React. Now they did ask what was my role. I mentioned that I mostly worked with backends and database design. Now, in my case, there were no further questions from the project, but generally it does not go like that. They do ask you about your project, and sometimes it can get technical as well. So make sure you study the flow of your project as well. Now, after that, there were some Spring Boot and Core Java related questions, such as the MR asked me, TR asked me about what is a Spring Boot lifecycle. I was a little confused because I thought that she's asking for the bean lifecycle. After that, Spring, very famous question, what is dependency injection? I also answered it. I was, the pace was slow at that time, तो मैं काफ़ी कंफर्टेबल हो गया था. इस पॉइंट तक आते आते मेरे सारे आंसर्स कंसाइज थे और मैं सही ही बोल रहा था, so I was confident with my answers. Then the another question was object versus reference, abstract versus interface. Now from this, the TR asked can you name a real life example? मैंने बहुत generic example दिया था, the car and engine example, that's very famous. But she was not happy with it. She was expecting a more real life example, and I couldn't think of a better example, so I just denied that I'm not sure. After that, what are REST APIs and put versus post? I answered them. I answered all of these questions, and it was all from her side. Now, MR was asking more about my communication and what I learned in my internship. So, as this question here, what did you learn at the internship beyond your technical stuff? I mentioned that I was not good with one-to-one communication, but since my internship requires me to have a stand-up call every day with my team lead, so that taught me how to communicate concisely, and honestly, it's actually fun if you know how to express yourself. Yeah, then there was just a basic question like why would you choose TCS if you get a PPO in your current organization, and if you are open to work remotely. And yeah, MR also said that TCS is strictly on site. Are you okay with it? Because we do not offer any remote positions. And he probably said this because my current internship is a remote setup. So he might have thought that I should know, but I already know that. Now, at the last, this is like a formality when they ask any questions from my side. Try to ask something meaningful. Don't just ask what does a day-to-day work look like at TCS, because I did that and he was not looking very happy with it क्योंकि इसके आंसर्स बहुत जेनेरिक होते हैं, लाइक एंड दे ऑल्सो नो कि आप ये कहीं ना कहीं से रट के आए हो. इन माई केस मैं पूछ सकता था कि मैं एआई इंजीनियरिंग फील्ड में जाने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ, तो मुझे टीसीएस को लेकर के क्या बेटर सीखना चाहिए जो मुझे अलाइन करे. अभी करंट TCS में जो टेक्नोलॉजीज यूज़ हो रही हैं, you will get the idea. You can give GPT a prompt and it will give you 5 6 good questions to ask the interviewer at the end. And yeah, this concludes it. Now my interview was going very well. It was fine. Like I believe that day that I am selected as digital. But as fate would have it, 3 days later I get a mail saying that I have been selected for the ninja trainee role. I was a little bummed about it, but a victory is a victory nonetheless. So yeah, that wraps up my TCS NQT off campus 2026 experience. And maybe I will try again for the digital or prime role next year. But for now, that's it. Peace.